Good morning, stars. I hope you are well. I'm having so much fantastic work sent to me. So many of you are amazing at maths. I've had lots and lots of videos of you sending me, of you all throwing the different items into bins and baskets and all sorts. So that is really, really amazing. Well done. Seen lots of you using the part whole model as well, which is fantastic. I love to see you learning, and it's really, really lovely to see. So keep sending me your photos and videos. It's really, really lovely to see. Today, we are going to be creating our own maps. We're going to be doing some writing. We're going to be looking at verbs, which are our what doing words, and we're going to be moving on to taking away. So I hope you enjoy your home learning today and have a super day.
Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. I hope that you are well today. We have a busy day before us with lots of work and lots of play.
Our project for this term is around the UK, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at where we are in the world, really. What we are a part of, and how we are positioned in the world. So some of the key vocabulary we're going to be looking at is a village. A village is a place where people live. There must be a church in a village, and there may be a school. Our village is called Goodnesston. A town is a place where people live and work. There may be shops, places of worship, which is like a church. Leisure facilities, so that might be like gyms or parks, and schools there. It is bigger than a village, but it's smaller than a city. A city, this is the biggest settlement where people live and work. There will always be a cathedral, and there may be tall buildings. They tend to be busy places with lots of traffic. London is a city. Actually, it's a capital city of England, which means the government sits there. A county is an area which may include a group of towns or a city. England is split up into 83 counties, and we live in the county of Kent. A country is the land with its own government, borders and rules. We live in the country of England. And then you've got the United Kingdom, and this is 4 countries which make up the United Kingdom, and that is England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Our country, and the bit that we sit in the United Kingdom, is called England. And then you have a continent. So each time we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. A continent is a group of countries. The world is made up of 7 continents. You've got Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica and Australasia. England is in the continent of Europe. Now, one thing if you look at the bottom of your knowledge organiser here, you've got the continents and the oceans, then you've got the United Kingdom, then you've got England, and I've made a little sign that says London and Kent, just so you can see whereabouts in England we are. And then if you look on the right hand side, you can see where that arrow falls, where Goodnesston is, and next to it is Canterbury and Sandwich and Deal, and they're all of the towns and cities that are near to us. So also what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at some landmarks in London. So we're going to be looking at the City of London, because that's our nearest huge city, and it's the capital city of England. So it's really good that we have a really good understanding of London. So London is the capital city of England. It has 8.9 million people live there, as well as the Queen at Buckingham Palace. There are many famous landmarks. Now, landmarks are something that a place is recognised for, really, and that are quite special to a place. So I wonder if you could look in that picture and see if you can see anything that you can recognise. Straight away, I can see the London Eye. That's that big, sort of big Ferris wheel in the middle there. And that Big Ben is that huge clock tower there. So also we're going to be looking at our little village of Goodnesston. Now, you should be quite familiar with Goodnesston. You all come to school here. I know only some of you live here, but lots of you know it quite well, and you spend quite a lot of time here. So Goodnesston is a small village. Only 378 people live here. It is surrounded by lots of farmland and woodland. We know all about the woodland, don't we? It has a church, a pub, a tea room and gardens, and of course a school. So Goodnestone is very, very different to London, isn't it? And we're going to be looking at lots of different things that make it different to Goodnestone and London and how different they are.
In Right Dance today, you need to follow the link again. I hope that's working okay and you're doing lots of lovely right dance moving and strengthening those fingers and those hands and those arms. So follow the link and I'll see you in a minute. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to retell you the Queen's Hat again. I know you've just watched me read the story and we've just gone through the symbols. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to story tell. This is what we call it in school. We story tell. So we don't read the book. We don't have the book in front of us. I use our lovely journey here and we're going to use our actions and we're going to retell the story and then you guys are going to practice this at home. So I'm going to do it first of all, okay? So, the Queen was on her way to visit someone special when the wind went woo and took off her hat. It soared high above their heads and high above the soldiers' heads, and it went all around to Trafalgar Square. The hat went all around to London Zoo. The hat went all around to the Underground. Zoom, zoom. The hat went all around to the London Eye. The hat went all around to Tower Bridge. The hat went all around to Big Ben. The hat went all around and it went high, high, and the Queen and her soldiers, they floated down with the hat all the way to Buckingham Palace. And the hat landed on the baby. Right, today what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at creating our own version of the Queen's hat. So if you can see my storyboard behind me, I've rubbed out the bit that makes the story the Queen's hat. So we're still going to have this journey. So somebody is going to be in the story. We're going to change sort of 3 things of the story really. We're going to change the person, the who. We're going to change the what, the thing that we lose, and we're going to change the soldiers. So again, the who, so who is helping the person that's lost something. And we're going to change the places. So I'm not going to do this in London. I thought it would be really nice, seeing as we've been looking at where we live and maps, I thought it would be a really nice way of connecting that all together and thinking about all the places that are in our location. So I'm going to think about Goodnestone and I'm going to have it as a person that I know that's in school, and I'm going to have the children that are in school helping that person. So the children are going to become the soldiers. I think I'm going to choose Mrs. P because she loses things all the time. So that's really realistic. I think I'm going to have Mrs. P, and I think the thing I'm going to lose is going to be a map. So it ties everything in really nicely, and we're going to lose it all around Goodnestone. So first things first, let's try and start plotting our new map. So I'm going to have Mrs. P. So shall I draw a lady? And I'm going to give her a P for Mrs. P. That's my symbol for Mrs. P. A lady, because Mrs. P is a lady, and a P for her name, for Mrs. Parsons. So the wind is going to take something, so I'm going to have my picture, oh, I'm going to have like a cross on it and like a map, almost like a bit like a treasure map. Then it's going to go high, and she's losing this map again. So let me just draw a picture of my map. Then the people that are going to help her are going to be the children. So I'm going to draw a couple of little children. Your drawing can be much better than mine. I'm not a very good drawer at all. So we've got Mrs. P, we've got the wind stealing her hat, and her hat is soaring high, high, high over, and the children are starting to help her. So where is the first place this map is going to go? So if we are at school, where's a place that's near school? I think the pub is a good place, the Fitzwater Arms. So shall we draw, I'm going to draw a mug of beer to represent my pub. So we've got the children, it's gone past the pub. Oh, let's change that hat. That's the Queen's hat, we don't want that. So this is going to be a map. That's my map. Where next? So we've gone from the school, it's blown over and it's gone all around the pub. Now I think it's going to go down to, what about the woodland school? So we could draw some trees. The trees. Then, oh, that's not a hat, it's a map, isn't it? Map. Right, where next could we go? We've gone through to the woodland school. What about the Goodnestone Park Gardens? Oh, that's like a big, nice manor house, isn't it? Just draw a picture of that. And I'm going to draw a picture of a flower, because lots of lovely flowers and plants at the manor house. So we've got Mrs. P, she loses her map, it goes all around in the wind. The children are going to help her, it goes all around the pub. The maps, it's flying, it's going to go all around the woods. Then the map's still, to Goodnestone Park Gardens. Then I think, where could we have next? What about Emma's sheep? We always go down to the sheep, don't we, to see the lambs being born, so that would be good. I'm going to try and draw a little sheep. I mean, again, your drawings will be so much better than mine. So there's my little sheep. It's the map is all around. Where could we have next? I think we could have somebody's house. Do we know anyone that lives in Goodnestone? We could have Miss Mitchell's house. Should we have an M for Miss Mitchell's house? We've got our maps swirling all around. And you can do this near where you live. So you don't have to do Goodnestone. Maybe if you're in Elsham or Littlebourne or Winsborough or Sandwich, you can do this where you are. And you could go outside when you create your map, and you could think about all of the places where that thing that you're losing is floating all around, and the children, or you could have your family help you. You can create your own version of this. You don't just do the same one as me. Now I'm going to have the church. The big church door. The church and the map is still swirling all around. And now, so this is the last place we're going to go to. Where shall we have it landing? Where haven't we been in the village so far? What else is in the village? Let's think back to our map. We could have it in the adventure playground. What about the adventure playground? We could have like a swing. No, we don't have a slide and swing, but again, Miss Donna's not a very good drawer, is she? And then we've got this map swirling all around. And then it lands I think it's going to land in our school playground, and I'm going to be the person who they were trying to get them out to. A bit like in the Queen's hat. She's going to try and see her baby, isn't she? I think Mrs. P and the children were going to come and try and show me their map, and now they've managed to give it to me. So Mrs. D, and that's me at the end, and I'm going to have the map. So I would really like you guys to have a go at doing this yourself. If you are a reception child, you don't need to draw all of the drawings. Your adult can help you if you want to, but you could just retell the story. So who is going to be your people? So is it going to be you? Is it going to be Mummy? Is it going to be Uncle Fred? Who are you going to have? What are you going to lose? What's going to fly off? And where are those places that it's going to fly off and go all around? And then I want you to create your own version of this. As a spicy task, I would like you to have a think about that opening sentence for me. So this is more of my Key Stage 2 children. This is a spicy challenge. Or if you're a reception child, you might want to say it and your adult write it down. It's up to you. So I want you to have a think about that opening sentence. I'm just going to read you the opening sentence from the Queen's hat. So it says, the Queen was on her way to visit someone special, very special, when the wind went. And the wind goes swish. So that's our first opening sentence here. So if I was going to rewrite that for my learning journey, I would say, Mrs. P was on her way to show somebody something special when the wind went woo. Because in my story, Mrs. P and the children are coming to show me some of their amazing work and show me their lovely map. So that's what's going to happen in my story. So it might be Carter was on his way to show or gone his way to meet someone special. Like, who was Carter going to meet? What did Carter lose? Maybe it was his favourite toy. Maybe it was his umbrella. Maybe have a really good think and see if you can do that opening sentence for me. So today we're going to learn to draw our own maps. You looked yesterday at the symbols and the key and what some of those symbols might mean. So we're going to have a little bit more of a look at that today. I've chosen for us to look at Google Maps because I think most of you can probably look at different maps on Google at home as well as the children that are in school. So on the next slide, I've attached the symbols and what the different symbols mean on Google Maps because you might want to look up your own town and where you live. On this side, what I've included is a map of Aylsham, because I know some of you live in Aylsham and it's probably our nearest big town to Goodnestone, I think. And there's not that many things on the map in Goodnestone, and there's so many things on the map in Canterbury. So I thought Aylsham was probably a good place. Sandwich is also a really nice town to look at because you have some different things there because you've got the river. So that's quite a nice town to look at as well. Or you can look at your town. Totally up to you. What we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at those symbols and we're going to try and have a go at creating our own map. So what you might want to do is you might want to get your shoes and coat on and go and have a little walk around and start plotting your map, and you can use those symbols on your own map. Here's a key of all of the symbols that Google use on their maps. So you might need your adult to help you to read them, but they're in different categories and they're in different colours as well. So it makes it easy for us to find. So food and drink is one colour, health is another, transport is another, shopping is another. So it's quite easy for us to see all the different categories. So see what symbols you can see on that Aylsham map on the slide before, and have a go at creating your own map. I can't wait to see them. In today's spag, we are going to be looking at verbs, which we call what doing verbs. So these are yellow words. So this is what are you doing? So yesterday we looked at our who in our sentence. So if you can see the sentence next to me, it says Mrs. Donohoe, which is our who, is eating, which is our what doing, our verb, and then it's an apple. So who, Mrs. Donohoe, is eating an apple. I've got lots of tasks for you as we go through and I'll talk you through them. In this slide, I'd like you to think of 5 actions that are happening. So what are those children doing? What are they doing? Are they jumping, skipping. I want you to think of 5 things that they are doing. For a spicy challenge, I'd like you to write them down. In this slide, I'd like you to point at what you think, or circle, or tell your adult which verb you think the children are doing. So, do you think the little boy points, sprinted, or collected? The little girl, do you think she agrees, she's performing, or she's reaching? She reached. Which verb would describe what's happening in the picture below? It starts with a ooh, ooh. The words below should all be verbs. They should all be what doing words. Are they? Or is there one that's not quite? I want you to see if you can find the one that you don't think it is. So the verbs are unlock, lemon, or worries. What doing words? Which of the words below is a what doing word, a verb? Stretch or stinky? Today in maths, we are looking at subtraction. We're going to look at take away, minus. So I've written all of the vocabulary on this board. This is our take away symbol. So a bit like we have our add and our equals, this is our take away. And this means that something's going to get less. Oh, I've got less. Let's put less on my board as well. So I've got minus, take away, less, subtract, and difference. And what this means is that something is going to get fewer. Like when we add, we have 2 numbers and they combine together, or 2 amounts and they combine together, they come together, and then we have more. When we subtract, we take something away, so we have less. A bit like Mrs. Donahoe had 4 ham sandwiches. Mrs. P ate 1, she only had 3 left. So that is subtracting, that is taking away, less. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at our Numicon and how it looks when something is less and how it looks when something is taken away. So I'm going to show you my desk. I think you can see that now. So we have 1 Numicon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've laid them out in a line because I think it's really good if we can see the shapes and we have them the right way round so that you can see when you line them up, it makes like a step. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in front of you, I've put 6 of my yummy chocolates. Mrs. P hasn't got her hands on these yet, and she's not eating these ones. She's been eating lots and lots of chocolates. You see that's the 3 there. So I'm going to take those 3 away. Now, poor Mrs. Donahoe only has 2. So for these tasks, you could do with getting to yourself some practical objects. So you just need probably up to 10 objects for this page. This is a really good one. There's a bit of a mild task for reception children. So you could have 10 pieces of pasta, 10 counters, 10 frogs, 10 of anything. And I want you to get the amount and then I want you to try taking away and see if you can find the right number on your number line. See if you can find the right number and then write it down for me. This slide's getting a little trickier. So if there were 14 cookies and 3 were eaten, how many would be left? Joe has a pack of 15 party hats. Woohoo! 4 are used. How many are left? Today in phonics, we are looking at the th sound again. So I really want everybody to stand up big and tall and do a th. So it's made up, isn't it, of the T and the H, the T and the H, and it makes the th sound. So today, I thought, after yesterday writing on our hands, hope everyone had fun with that. It took me a long time to wash all of those words and sounds off my hand yesterday. But it was good fun, wasn't it? And it's about us thinking of ways that are going to help us remember these sounds. So when we come to write, we have them all here and we can phonetically spell things out really, really easily. So I thought another fun way might be, I've made myself a thinking thumb. And I thought it'd be a really nice idea today if you made yourself a thinking thumb. What I've done is I've just made a piece of paper and drew a nail on the top with my th sound, and then I've written thinking thumb on it. And what you could do, on the next slide, there's lots and lots of different words that start with the th sound, and I thought you could think of, or you could write, depending if you're a reception or a Key Stage 1 child, and you could think or write some sentences with the th sound in. And you could make silly sentences if you like the thief was 13 when he stole a thermometer. Have a go and show me and let me know. So this afternoon we would normally have woodland time, so I thought it might be a nice idea for us to start thinking about den building. Now, lots of you have got really, really great at den building at school and you love to make a den. So I thought what might be a nice challenge is to make a den for a bit of a special friend. So you could make a den for a bear or a toy that you find quite special, like a dinosaur, whatever you would like. So you could think about how to create a bit of a shelter and how to make a den for your bear. Now, if you can't get outside, if the weather's horrible, you haven't got any outdoor space, you could do this indoors. You could use cardboard boxes, you could use blankets, you could use any of your building stuff like Lego that you have. I'd really like to see how creative you can be and make a lovely, warm, cozy den for your special friend.